how to get your first job in the gaming industry without having job experience. Everybody, this is Alessandro, welcome back to my channel. So what I noticed is that for the last 6 to 8 months during the industry state at the moment, with all the layoff and everything, there's been between the students and people who are trying to get their first job a lot of frustration and negativity, and most of the time they always blaming the state of the industry. The FedEx company are like evil, you know, asking for a few years of experience even for an entry-level position, and there's a lot of negativity. And I want to bring you guys a little bit back, because just recently I have one of my students who got a job in a AAA title, right? He had zero experience, 0 years of experience, just been studying animation with me and before me with another school, right? And so I want to share with you how this is actually achievable, but what you need to do in order to achieve that, and how to be more realistic about the proper skill, because most of the time, guys, this is actually the issue. And probably during this video you're gonna see some of the image passing by my students' demo reel, so you can get a little bit of better perspective about the quality that is needed, right? And so the thing I was talking about this is because for the last few months, really, I sent people putting on social media like, hey guys, been trying to get my first job in the industry. I graduated from this school, from this college, with this private mentor, blah blah blah, and I send 400, 500 application. Nobody's getting back to me. If they get back to me, it's only rejection. I'm really desperate and tired, you know, stuff like that. And the sentiment was always extremely negative, in the sense people who comment were like, hey bro, don't worry, I mean, give up already, because right now the industry is a mess. Nobody's getting a job. Even professional people were the master of the craft. They've been in the industry for 15 years. They've been laid off. They cannot get a job right now. On top of that, people, even for entry-level job, you know, they require 2-3 years of experience, stuff like that. You're like, almost like you have to give up. Like, there was really a lot of negativity, and I'm not here to deny the state of the industry, what it's been for the last couple of years, even though we discuss how now things are getting back and ramping up back. But it is not only like this. It's not that nobody is getting a job anymore, right? Also because if those people, I apply for a job while there is a job opening, and so the company is willing to hire. Maybe they're not willing to hire you, and you are not able to accept this, sadly, but they're willing to hire, right? Because even me, when I was looking for a job at the beginning, when I was a student, right, and the first time I applied for 200, 300 jobs, I applied to companies that they were looking for animator. I didn't apply for company that did not have opening position, because or else obviously they will reject me. They're not looking for, right? But they were not looking for me, because even though I studied for 3 years to the animation mentor and stuff like that, my reel was not good enough. And so when I see people like this with all this negativity on social media, like, oh, I'm really desperate and tired, I go and look at their demo reel, guys, and 9 out of 10, the demo reel is extremely bad. And bad is an understatement, okay? And this has nothing to do, the fact that you're not getting a job has nothing to do with the industry. Again, I'm not denying it, but even if in the industry was a top level and everybody's looking for a job, and there was a lot of job like pre-pandemic, you won't get a job anyway, okay? That's the reality, and that's what people are really struggle to understand. I don't know if people can see their own skill. Sometimes in a way, I'm also very pissed off with the school or mentor or college that are not very straightforward when it comes to the skill of the student. They let them graduate. They don't care about giving them really harsh feedback, okay? And so maybe the student think about it, okay, I might be good enough, I should be able to get a job, my character is moving in a real engine and stuff like this, it's more than enough to get a job. And it's not like this. With my student, I am extremely harsh. I mean, the student who just get a job, he was studying for me for a year and a half, private, one-on-one, a single hour every week. And he already studied to another college a few years before that, so he studied 3-4 years before be able to have this opportunity, right? And I can guarantee you guys, I push him to the limit. We started with very simple stuff, but every shot need to look damn good and smooth, with good physicality, good polish and stuff like that, before we move to the next one. And if we didn't achieve that, we stop, we discard the shot, and we go back all over Probably yesterday you see the video that I uploaded of one of my other students that just with doing lower body, just the leg moving around on simple jumps. That's not most of the time the very first shot I ask people to do. If you're not able to achieve this quality, no way I'm gonna let you move to something more advanced. I'm gonna let you repeat over and over. If you don't get it, I'm sorry, I'm gonna insist. Most of the time, if people can achieve the quality with something so simple, they already give up because they didn't realize the industry, the art was that difficult. They felt about they could just move a few things and get away and get a job. No, art is extremely tough industry to get in. All right, you need to say 3 to 4 years, depending on your skill, depending on the speed. Right? I know some people thinking about, I can just study for 6 months, a year and get a job. It's not gonna give you, it's not gonna bring you anywhere, this attitude. Okay, you need to work extremely hard, and you need people who push you really hard, to push you with the timing, with pauses and stuff like this. And most of the time, I'm sorry to say this, guys, I don't see it. I don't see other people pushing themselves so hard. So when they say those things like, oh, the industry, stuff like that, most of the time has nothing to do with that. It's to do with the fact that they didn't achieve the quality that they was needed. And you know, guys, how do I know this? Because every time I have a student coming with me and getting a consulting to have their demo reel review, and I review them very harshly, they always tell me the same things. Oh, when I was at school, when I was in this other college, my mentor never told me those things. My mentor never pointed out all those problems that you're doing it. And now I realize how things bad really were, right? So they never realized it because never really sat with them to a full 30 minutes, a full hour to highlight all the things that are wrong, but most of it, more important, how to show to them how to improve those things, all right? And that's the number one issue, because then people don't see artists, especially at the beginning, when they are not good, they can't see their own mistakes, they can't see their own problem, they can see that they are lacking certain things. And at least they have the right person to point those things out. They are they don't see it and then blame other things, right? When the problem is on their own, sadly. Okay, this is the reality. I'm sorry, guys, I'm sorry to break it up for you. So just keep blaming other things. It's not gonna help you in any way. And I'm sure, yes, the industry is being in a bad place. But again, I can see for personal experience with my own students, that when they have achieved some great quality, even with 0 years of experience, they get a job. How is that even possible then? It's possible because they achieved something really, really good, and people who watch a demo really like it. That's it. That's simple. All right. And another thing that people, I think, really struggle to understand is the effort you need to put. Again, a lot of people have this understatement that I can work for 6 months, a few hours a day, stuff like that. And when I tell them, hey, you know what, studying animation is really tough in terms of time commitment. It's gonna be expensive. If you think you're gonna study animation for spending $5,000, you're crazy, because it's gonna be a lot more expensive. It's a degree like anything else. Even if you study privately, actually that is even more expensive. Okay, but that's what it's worth. And then people say, oh, but it's too expensive, I cannot afford it, stuff like that. It's your life, man. If you don't want to do it, don't do it, but then don't complain if you don't get a job, right? Like it's you're not hurting me or anyone else. You're not hurting the school. The school doesn't care if you don't go to them, right? It's not their problem. They're gonna find someone else. So you are the one. Either you decide you wanna really put yourself into it and do it no matter what, no matter the sacrifice, or doing like this lightly and then hopefully somehow you're gonna get a job and then you don't get it. Guys, when I was a student, I was coming from Italy. You know, salary in Italy is extremely low, and when I wanted to go to Animation Mentor, for example, I have to take a full-time job, put money on the side, when I was at the school and study at a part-time job to still support myself and still pay for the school and everything. So it was tough. I was basically not having a life, but that was my goal. I had a clear goal and I wanted to achieve it no matter what. And I can see today people lack this drive. I see it because I see even some of the students that give up after a while when they're not very motivated. When I insist on certain things in what you need to do in order to achieve a certain quality, I can see the one who's very excited to get feedback, because I can see now, I see these mistakes and is so excited to learn from me and improve those things, right? Even though he does mistakes over and over, right? He's still excited to try to improve himself. And other people, after a few times I tell them, hey, you know what, this jump is still not working, the arcs is still not working, the hang time, the timing is not there. And I still explain to them, you're still doing the same mistake. And after 2-3 times they get demotivated and they quit, because probably they thought it was something easier, and I'm not gonna give them easy for them, because that's not gonna bring them to the quality that they need to get a job, right? And so at the end of the day, guys, it's up to you. I do think that every school should be a lot harsher and give the straight reality to their student. I think they're not doing it. Again, every time I talk to a student, they told me nobody's ever harsh as me, but then again I help them to get there, right? And the other things I don't really like it is that a lot of school and company now, they're trying to compete on price, like, oh, get a job in 6 months, study in 6 months, and then get a job in 1 year, stuff like that. It's not like this. Very few people can study animation just in 1 year and get a job. A lot of us need to study 2, 3, 4 years. It depends, right? Depends also how much you apply yourself and stuff like this. But some people now try to sell the dream of like, oh, if you can study just 6 months, 1 year, very cheap, and learn. If you're gonna go the route, guys, there is a good chance that the quality is not gonna be there, and you're gonna waste a year of your time, still spend some money, maybe $12,000 or something, and then the quality is not there, right? So for me, it's not really a great strategy. I took my time. I did a couple of schools. I studied privately, and luckily I also had a mentor who was extremely strict. That's why he opened my eyes a lot, and now that's why I am like this. But I can see the result with you know, that my students really push them really hard. They can achieve, right? And it's not this excuse, oh, the company doesn't want to hire them, the company is looking for 2 or 3 years of experience. I told them, don't care. You know, if I tell you to go to apply, it means I believe now that your demo reel has a stronger skill. Go and get a job. In fact, I tell them, to my students, don't only look for a junior role, apply also for normal mid-level animator, because now your skill is getting good. If the other person on the other side is not stupid and he likes your skill, he has to like it. First of all, he needs to think you fit the project. He's not gonna care that you have 0 years of experience, because you know you are a gem that you could possibly shine. Okay, so that's the attitude I think that people need to have, rather than these things like, oh, but what's the point to apply right now? Companies are unfair. Well, how come that my students are getting they're getting a job, right? And when they're not getting it, most of the time, because I tell them, hey, you're not ready to apply. If you don't apply behind my back, you can do it anyway. But I'm telling you, your skills are not there yet, and so you're not ready. I tell them when I think they're ready to have something solid to apply. Okay, and most of the time when I give the go, I think 95% of the time they get it, right? So which is a fantastic thing for me. I'm super proud as a mentor. They are very happy and things like that. Okay, guys. So I'm sorry. I know sometimes I have to give some harsh talk, but I can't tolerate to see all this negativity, just blaming the others, and then I have to see people demo reel, and most of the time is just the demo reel the problem, right? And then people just thinking about it, just blaming. This attitude is not gonna bring you anywhere. I'm really sorry to tell you this. You better grow up in a way and accept that this is how life it is. And of course, again, I don't want to undermine what the industry is going through, but again, there are people getting a job right now. It's not that nobody is getting a job anymore. Okay, that's what you need to think. I know when you watch social media, it looks like negativity after negativity. It's very easy to be surrounded by that. Sometimes it's good to step away and focus on your craft rather than spending time on social media and see a layoff every week or something like that, and thinking about it, the world is collapsing. Okay, because there are good things happening right now as well. Okay, guys, hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any question, let me know in the comment, and see you next time. Ciao.